Hey y'all seen the last episode of Atlanta Housewives? Hmm, I sure did. Let's talk about it. What's going on, y'all? Alright, now let's get into this episode of the Atlanta Housewives. Now, Phaedra got this bright idea to take all these crazy heifers camping. And I mean, at first I thought it was a horrible idea. I still think it's a horrible idea because, like, let's be serious. Like, these chicks are not outdoorsy type people. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're more into 5, 6, 8-star hotels and all of this stuff. And you already know somebody's going to start some mess and they're going to start fussing and fighting. But be that as it may, that's just what they do. So in the beginning, I don't know whose bright idea it was for half the girls to meet at Kenya's house and half the girls to meet at Sheree's unfinished house. I don't really understand what that was about, but okay. And so I thought was real funny after that last exchange that they had, everybody made sure they brought some backup, you know, because they didn't want no crap to go down and they didn't have nobody in their corner, which I do understand. But, you know, just like Phaedra said, like, this was an event just for, you know, the core girls. I didn't invite Lottie Dottie and everybody. That's just how it is. I had a friend that used to do stuff like that. When I would have like a birthday dinner, she would just bring random people. Like, who the hell is this? You know, but whatever, it is what it is. So they get on the bus, and of course Marla with her silly, like, where the hell she thought she was going? Like, nobody's impressed by the fact that you decided to dress all the way up like you're going to some club or something, and you going out into the damn wilderness. Everybody got on tennis shoes and comfortable clothes, and this dummy, she got on some club wear, because that's what it is. I don't know who told her, who made her the author of style, but no. Just because you walk around in expensive clothes does not make you a style icon. It just make you broke. Boop. I mean, she just looked ridiculous. I mean, how pretentious can you be just to be walking around in some damn heels and everybody got on tennis shoes just so you could prove a point? And I thought it was so funny when Candy little friend, she jumped in when Marla was like, oh yeah, we could sit around and have girl talk and I could tell y'all about men and fashion, and everybody's like, well, why do we need to ask you about that? You know, and she could have really like clapped back on her, but you know, being new in a situation, you really can't really go in on somebody you think is being stupid and you don't really know Marla like that. Well, maybe she do, because Atlanta's not a big place, but still, you know, for her being on the show, you can't really get too slick at the mouth with somebody, you know what I'm saying, when it's not really, you know, your place, you know, and you ain't getting a check to be slick. So yeah, but I thought that was real funny. And I think the next thing I thought was really stupid was, why the hell did Porsha feel the need to bring a note to prove that she was going to anger management? Now we all know that Porsha ain't really going to no damn anger management. I personally do not think that there's anything wrong with Porsha. Porsha is just like any round the way chick that'll pop your ass if you get out of line. Now, you know, we all got friends like that. You could fuss and argue and go back and forth, but you have that one friend that she'll fuss and argue with you. When she get tired of your mouth, she'll just get up and pop you. And that, it is what it is. Y'all will fight, whoever win, whoever lose, you know, to keep your damn mouth closed. And that's just how it is. We all got friends like that. But unfortunately, she's on a television show, and her jumping on people multiple times kind of looks like, oh, she may have an anger problem, but ain't shit wrong with Porsha. Y'all know ain't nothing wrong with her. You know, it's just that, I don't know, to the, I guess, the look of it, it just looked like, oh my God, she's getting in so many fights. But for somebody to be 35 and still fighting folks, you know, that's a little much. You know, you leave all that jumping on females and all, you leave that to the 19, 20, the little young girls who really, you know, they don't really know too much better, you know. You let the young girls do all the jumping on, but when you're a woman of a certain age, like, you kind of got to let that stuff go. But I thought it was real funny. And of course, you know, Kenya always got to make fun of somebody and make people feel like less than. But that last episode, when Kenya was trying to instigate some foolishness, now in that particular situation, not Candy, child, you mixing these people up. Porsha needed to slap the hell out of Kenya, because when you fussing with somebody and you know how you pop off on people, and you get up and you remove yourself from the situation, and the person follows you out the door and continues to talk trash, yeah, you deserve to get your ass popped. And she should have popped her, but I understand why she didn't, you know, because then people would turn around and say, oh, you see, she's unstable. But Kenya is queen of instigating and provoking people, and somebody needs to tell her that. And Sheree did tell her, you do provoke people, you do. Like, let's not pretend that your little boyfriend Matt is just busting the windows out your car for no damn reason. You did something to him, because you do something to everybody. So stop playing, oh, y'all always blaming things on me. Yes, bitch, because you did. Yes, you started it. You started it. If you don't want people to think that you're a bitch, just stop being one. Hello? It's just so silly. That's just how it is. If you don't want somebody to feel that you're a certain kind of way, then don't be that. Keep your mouth shut. If she wanted to tell you, and of course, Phaedra wrong for even making up that nonsense about her wanting, but I understand the situation. You know, she was out to lunch or out to an outing with Kenya, and she really don't have a whole lot in common with Kenya. So to start conversation, she just said, oh, well, you know, Porsha wants to tell the group about her. And like, she really was not trying to be gossipy. I think she was just literally trying to make conversation with her. And of course, just like Sheree, just something for them, a little piece of information just eats in their cheek, just ready for them to go tell somebody. But that's just how it is. You got to be careful, even if you're talking about somebody just in general, not really in general, but just talking about somebody in passing, not really gossiping, just, you know, just not out of malice. Some people you just can't do that with, because they're gonna use that to go back and say, girl, let me tell you what so-and-so said about you. Just messy. Yeah, child. So when they get to the hotel, of course, Phaedra did not plan for all these extra people to come. So I thought it was like really like stupid for Marlo to be like, oh, I ain't trying to sleep with nobody. Then you should have been invited. Then get your little black card. Ain't you rich? Ain't you balling? Well, if you don't want to sleep with nobody, you don't want to bump with nobody, then go on ahead and get your little card out and get your own room. That's how you do that. You know, how you could just crash an event, a sleepover event, and then complain about the accommodations. Like, where they do that at? It's just so stupid. So now they get down to this, they have this little bonfire where they talking, and everything seems pretty cool until Porsha's sister asks Marlo, so why, you know, what's going on with you and Kenya? Why y'all not friends? And I understand Marlo being pissed off at Kenya, because Kenya is all about trying to please people. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to be in the mix. She's trying to be like, she wants to be like, you know, but certain people she'll mess with, but others she will not. Like, for instance, Marlo, she would not mess with Marlo because she know Marlo would get upside that head. And so when Marlo went to that darn event, showed up at that event where they was selling stuff for charity, and boy, you know, Kenya couldn't wait to say sorry, child, because she already knew she had messed up by not inviting Marlo to that damn home, what it was, a housewarming and her birthday party, and invited Nene instead. Like, what kind of fake friend are you? Like, that girl, you like, she chose Nene over you. Like, she chose to be your friend. Like, how you not gonna do that? And I don't really understand these women. Like, I know for me, I could not like somebody, or if I'm in a tiff with somebody, I can still coexist around them. Like, I can go to an event, I can say hi, bye, and be just really, really cordial, but I just don't mess with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I've done it before where I wasn't really speaking to somebody and we had like a joint event that we had to go to. I came in, they made it their personal business to come say hi to me, and I was just like, hello, and I just kept it moving, didn't say another 2 words to that person. And that's, I just don't understand that. But of course Marlo felt some type of way because she didn't get an invite, and of course she should at least like gave her a phone call, or, but I guess she was scared, so I guess she just figured, oh well, you know, maybe she'll forgive me later, I'll say sorry later. Some people feel like it's better to ask for forgiveness than for permission, you know. Or to just to tell somebody something, I just, you know, I just let it go by and then I just say sorry later, you know. But Marlo was not having it, so of course she, you know, held a grudge, but she was really, really messed up by saying, you know, oh, you're so evil. If your mama don't even want to bother with you, like, you know, you messed up if your mama don't want you. And I thought that was kind of, it was messed up in that context. But I'm not gonna say that Kenya did not deserve that comment, because she very well did. But in that particular situation, she did not deserve it because she didn't do nothing to nobody yet. Now, in that whole confrontation with Porsha, she deserved it. So if you're not familiar with the confrontation with Porsha, I'll just briefly give you a brief synopsis of what happened. Now, Phaedra invited all of the ladies to lunch to discuss Kenya and hers, you know, charity to the kids of Flint, Michigan. And then she used that opportunity to invite everybody to the camping trip. And so while they were sitting there, of course, Kenya just busted out of nowhere, oh, so Phaedra told me that you wanted to tell everybody about your progress in anger management. Now, we all know that Porsha ain't really going to anger management. She ain't going. But the way Kenya asked, it was so rude. And then, of course, she was just like, what you asking me that for? I did not tell her that. And then, of course, Kenya gonna bust out, what kind of medication are you on? And then Porsha say, bitch, I ain't on no damn meditation. It's for meditation. I was just like, oh my God, I can't. And I mean, they were just going, I mean, she was just being so rude to Porsha, like making fun of it, you know. She really did not have any vested interest in her progress. She just wanted to just be damn rude. And of course Porsha cussed her out, and then Candy jumped in because she tried to fix it. Like, you know, she tried to fix it. She really did. She didn't mean nothing by it. She was like, okay, after the, you know, Porsha said her piece and was just like, you really don't care nothing about me, you just trying to start some mess. And so Candy was like, you know, okay, well, y'all, you know how Kenya is, like, for real, how is the anger management? And of course, since Porsha is friends with Phaedra, and of course, you know, Candy and Phaedra done fell out, and Candy been saying all kind of stuff about Phaedra and vice versa. She already kind of had a little slight attitude, like an underlying attitude with Candy. So Candy could have said, that's great, Porsha, and she still would have went off on her. So of course she was just like, oh, I feel like you piggybacking off of what Candy said, and y'all trying to pick and do this and do that. And of course Candy gets mad and defensive and start cussing her behind out. And so of course Porsha gets mad and she gets up to leave. And so instead of letting the girl go about her business, Kenya decides to get up and follow her. Oh, are you still taking the medication? It don't seem like the medication is working for you. Are you sure the cat, like, just like egging her on, like, you know what the people in the streets say, they jugging on you, just jugging on you, jugging on you, jugging on you, just talking all kind of damn crap. Now in that instance, I know several people, including myself, would have turned around and slapped the hell out of her. Like, why? What are you doing? And you can't say anything. Nobody. Like, she would literally get a slap on the wrist, because if I'm in a verbal confrontation with you and I get up and I leave, why the hell are you following me? But I said all of that already. And so in that instance, she could have turned around and then went off on her and told her about how her mama don't want her, and she would have deserved that, because in that heated instance, she deserved that. But Marlo was so wrong for bringing that lady mama up in a situation where it wasn't really tense. So anyway, of course, you know, Kenya, and then she started talking about, oh, your eyelashes don't match and blah blah blah, just being so, it just, and it no, it just can't, it was just so overdone. Like, I could understand if we were in a heated argument, you going in on me, but for you to be going in on somebody and they didn't really do nothing, it just seemed like you being a bully. So fast forward to the dinner. But now, before the dinner, of course, Sheree just, this whole Candy is a lesbian bit, just burning a hole in her damn mouth. She got to tell somebody. So she goes and tells Marlo, and of course Marlo goes to the table. Oh, Candy, I wanted to, oh no, not Marlo didn't do that. Of course, what's her name? Sheree. Sheree, of course, gonna start talking about, oh, Candy, somebody told me, I don't want to say no names. Now, let me tell you something. When people start off some nonsense with somebody told me, but I don't want to say who told me, I immediately say I don't want to hear it. Because if you bad enough to bring a bone, then you should be bad enough to tell me who said it. And I'm the kind of person you need to bring who said it, so I can straighten you and her. You know, because I've had that situation happen to me so many times. Oh girl, somebody told me this, but I can't tell you who said it. Okay, well, it doesn't mean anything, so why are we talking about it? Because as far as I'm concerned, if you don't want to tell me who said it, you said it, right? I'm gonna blame you and I'm gonna be mad at you. How about that? So I don't do that. But anyway, she entertained it because it's the show. So anyway, she's just like, oh, somebody's told me that you're a lesbian. And of course, Candy's like, what are you talking about? And of course, Porsha with her big fat mouth, oh my God, who would say something like that? Now she done forgot. She was sitting at the table when Phaedra was saying that she was messing around with Shamia, and then Porsha was just like, she's still in the closet, but that ain't none of my business. You know, she forgot, because you know Porsha kind of ditzy, and so she forgot she said all of that. So of course Porsha is like, oh my God, who would say that? Who would say that? Who would say that? And child, if you looked at the end of that table and see how Phaedra was back there throwing back them damn drinks, she was so scared. Phaedra was so damn scared, boy. She was so scared Sheree was gonna call her damn name and say, Phaedra done told me that you was messing around with females. And it was just so crazy. I think that's the only thing I remember about that scene, boy, how scared and nervous Phaedra was. Phaedra was just, I think Phaedra drank the whole bottle of wine. She was so doggone scared. But yeah, after that whole situation, they all went back to the room and was talking. And of course, you know, Candy low-key know who started that. It's all Phaedra, because they just been going back and forth with a bunch of nonsense, and so she already know. And of course, her and Porsha on, you know, they going at it too now. So she you know, they all got the same amount of dirt, and they all know the same dirt about people. That's why, you know, even though, you know, this show is just crazy and it's a lot of it is just foolishness for the show, it kind of like make you think, like, you got to be real careful about people. Like, I don't think I would ever have like the girlfriends that I used to have back in the days, because honestly, you cannot trust nobody. You cannot, because people are so darn messy. Like, you get into one tiff with somebody, you can't just call the person and be like, you know what, I'm sorry, you know, and try to resolve it. No, they want to put your business out on the street. They want to, you know, malign your name and do all kind of nonsense, just evil towards you. I mean, there's no loyalty among people anymore. You could be friends with somebody for 10, 15 years and they'll do some crazy stuff to you and you be like, dang man, if you my friend and you doing this to me, imagine if you were my enemy. And so when it comes to people, I'm cool with everybody, but I always have a third eye on everybody. But honey, if y'all seen the trailer for the next few episodes, y'all know it's gonna be crazy. But anyway, I have talked long enough. I hope y'all enjoyed this review. If y'all would like to see more reviews, give this a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and I will see y'all guys next time. Bye.